Welcome, everybody. Whoever ends up watching this, hello. It's Friday, but you probably don't care because you're just going to watch this whenever you want. I'm Nathan. This is my art show, and I'm here with a special guest. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Shanelle. Shanelle Julia Rosita is what I go by. It's my first name, my two middle names. I'm an abstract visual artist. I work with marker, digital. I mean, am I going into the whole spiel of who I am?
Yeah, do whatever you want. This is your time.
uh, yeah, okay. I'm from Brooklyn. I still live in Brooklyn for now. And yeah, I'm always making art. I'm just always making stuff. And I've exhibited all over. I currently have work in Miami at the Gates Hotel on exhibit there. I have a show coming up in New York, March 4th. And I've worked with Bergdorf Goodman. I've done all types of NFT related art exhibits, NFT Paris, New York, et cetera, et cetera. That's enough. I think that's mostly it.
That's a good intro. You covered a few things. I'll just like dig into them as we go.
hmm
As I always show, I've got my little list because I'm
That's a really
professional.
little
It's
list.
very
Nice.
professional. So I was gonna ask, like, I guess you could start with like just art in general, but I also want to figure out like with Web3 NFTs, like what's your origin story?
Okay, wait. Those are two different questions. Wait,
Well, yeah,
what?
it's a two-parter.
Okay. So what's the first part?
So for as far as your art career, like how did you start? What was that moment like? Do you even remember it? Some of us started so young. So like what was that for you?
Okay. So I was drawing all of my life until I was 16. When I turned 16, but I don't know if it was like near my birthday. I'm not sure what the exact timeline was, but I know I was a sophomore in high school, and there were these twins that were what I felt were serious artists. They did these like dramatic installation style. Just they would take over the whole art room with their installation projects, and they went on to go to Cooper Union. They were serious artists, like for real. And at the time, I remember just walking in one day to the classroom and looking around and just going, "Yeah, I'm clearly not an artist because what is this, right?" So I just stopped cold turkey with anything related to art and successfully manipulated myself into believing that I'm just not an artistic person. I'm one of these spreadsheet people, whatever that means. I'm more of an admin brain or whatever story I made up. I was able to believe it enough that I stopped the practice altogether. So this is now I don't draw anymore. I go off to college. I have all these experiences throughout life, and I was still chasing connection to art
Mm.
while seeing myself as like an outsider doing so. So I started dating somebody that made music. He's artistic, and that was the thing that like attracted me to him was oh man, like he thinks this way that I'm just not like this. I
Right.
was going to music showcases. He made music, so that's how I met him. I would go to exhibits and things like that. I collect art myself, and the whole time I'm doing that, I was doing it from the place of an outsider. So at this point, for the record, I was also able to kind of black out that whole timeline. So
Mm.
I had actually not even remembered my history in art, actually. That's how much I was removed from it, and I had convinced myself to remove myself from it. But again, I'm still doing things in proximity to art, right? So throughout that time, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. I decided to go to grad school, end up working for the Brooklyn Nets. Like I go down this path of trying to look like I'm doing something, right?
Mhm.
So I do that. I leave that job after like 3 years, and I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I end up in the film industry, but I'm in like the beginning. I'm working in the kitchen of the film industry or something. I'm not like actually making film or anything. I'm doing something where I, in theory, would do if I want a career in film. But I
Right.
didn't necessarily want a career in film. I just didn't know what I wanted to do, so I was kind of hiding in that career temporarily.
Yeah.
And while doing so, that's when I discovered Mr. Kate, if you're familiar with Mr. Kate and her work on YouTube and everything. And she's just like super creative, and she was doing interior design projects. And I'm like, oh, design, that's something I could do. So then I leave the film industry. I go to work at Crate and Barrel. and decide I'm going to just like find a way to learn interior design.
Mm-hmm.
I meet my design partner, who becomes my design partner, Amelia, and we start doing projects together and we're working together, but I'm working through all of these limiting beliefs at the same time. I'm in this, dabbling in this thing, but I'm still not sure. And I all the while, she's extremely passionate about design, right? Like she grew up building things and designing things. Everywhere she goes, she's rearranging things. She rearranges her house like literally every week. And I just didn't have that design passion, but clearly I had an artistic something. I didn't understand it fully. So
Yeah, there's like something that was like dying to get out artistically,
yeah,
creatively.
yeah. But I'm
Okay.
still not making the connection all the way. So I meet her at Crate and Barrel in 2019. 2020 comes. I'm still with my ex in that relationship. And my birthday, so it was my 32nd birthday, I think it was. 30, right? Something like that. I don't remember. Anyway, it was my birthday. We went to the park. We had some sort of thing that we did for the day. We kind of spent the day in nature, and it was just me and him from what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
But I know when I came home, I had this strange urge to draw, and I hadn't put pen to paper with the intention of drawing something in 16 years, as I stated. Wow. So oh yeah, it was my 32nd birthday. So I was like, hand me some markers. Like for some reason I want to draw something. It was just so strange. It felt so strange. It was this out of body experience. I'm doing this thing that I just feel I have to do right now. I haven't done it in forever.
Yeah.
And I made something. And it's funny because the thing that I made, it was very intricate. It was similar to your work, where it's just a lot of detail and a lot of little things going on, right? A lot of little loopholes. Yeah. And
I love your work, by the way.
Thank you. I love your work too. It's
Thank you.
Anything intricate, I appreciate. Anything that causes us to have to, deep dive or reflect or just look further, look beyond the canvas. That's stuff that I connect with. So obviously we had a thing there. So yeah, what I'm getting at is I had actually thrown my childhood portfolio away at some point in that 16-year period. I took the whole portfolio and just dumped it. Like I really disconnected from it. But by me doing that, I actually completely, this is one of those things, what do they say? If you love something, you can let it go.
Mm-hmm.
That really was my experience with art, because I completely let it go. And in me completely letting it go, I was able to find my voice in this like new timeline. Because what I'm making now was definitely not what I was making back then, or even the way I was like, I don't remember everything I was making back then, but it didn't look like this. Like I know that. So I realized how much freedom and space I gave myself by me separating from it, disconnecting from it. I got to learn about myself in a completely new way from this lens of creating with marker now in my current situation. And that drawing moment just led to a spiral of self-discovery things that happened after that. Like I got into therapy because I was having all these issues with my family and with myself. I'm like, what is going on? Then I cut some of my family off, realized I need to get out this relationship. That the relationship was kind of bubbling up at that same time, because as I was doing more work with myself, I think that was just creating a clear separation between the person I was with and myself. So that eventually played itself out. The following year was at 2021. And then I traveled. I did a bit of travel, but I was still drawing. I was still creating things, but just like here and there. I was making stuff, And then 2022, the beginning of 2022, this is like a weird. So my actual story and how I started exhibiting is this, and I don't know how Pete rated, if I can curse and say this is a okay.
Yeah, be yourself.
Space. So I was cutting up shirts that I had, and I was like, oh, I can make a little business out of this. So I made an Instagram for this like cut up shirt business. And this guy reaches out to me, and at this point, I'm like living in Ghana. I was in Ghana for 3 months at the end of 2021. Cool. So I'm in Ghana, and this person starts reaching out to me and sending me money on Cash App. They just like started sending me money. He's like, what's your Cash App? I'm like, what is happening? But he's not buying anything. So he goes to send me money like 2 or 3 times. And then finally, I'm like, look, I'm an artist, and he's insisting that he likes women and he likes art. I'm like,
Uh-oh.
okay. I'm like,
You're
I
like,
feel
what's happening?
yeah, right. So I'm like, I feel uncomfortable. You just sending me money. You're not getting anything directly. Would you like to buy some art? Because then I can price it,
Yeah.
make it, send it to you, and then because I like to. I don't want anything hanging over my head with this stranger, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So he says he wants to buy something. I said, cool. I said, give me a color scheme. That's it. He tells me purple and yellow. I said, all right, cool. I make something in a week. And I present it to him. And I'm like, okay, you just send me the balance. I'll ship you the art. We're good. Then he's just like, okay, well, I can send you the balance, or I can send you 3 times the balance if you watch me beat off as
Oh my
well.
God. Your instinct, like you knew it instantly.
So I'm just like, so then now I actually see it. I'm like, wait a minute. I just got to watch him. I'm in New York. I've seen that on the train. This is actually something I've experienced and I didn't get paid for. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
you see it all the time, probably walking around.
right. So I'm like, is this an immediate no or is this an immediate yes? I can't tell right now. So then I'm like, I thought about it and I'm like, yeah, no, this has happened to me on the train and nobody paid me. So I think I can do this. So I go, sure. But then he's like, all right, like, call me at this time. And he's like, I want you to moan. And I'm like,
Oh
moan? I'm
no.
like, no, wait, you want me to engage in this thing? Sitting here and watching is one thing.
He
Pretending I
starts
care
adding
about this,
caveats.
that's different. Now I'm like, now you want me to act. That's now
Yeah.
something that's not in my wheelhouse. So I ended up just blocking this guy. And
Yeah.
I was determined at that point. I'm like, we're gonna sell this art. We're gonna exhibit this art.
Yeah.
So literally, my art career started because of that, like pettiness from that experience.
Do you find that happens a lot from like men that are like poking their head around the art world?
Yeah, I've had yeah, well, separate story. Like, yeah, I was also then in the dominatrix space as well.
Okay.
So, and I'm finding my way there, what I want to do with that, because I don't really love sessioning and all of the work you got to do to vet the person and stuff like
Okay.
that. I don't enjoy it.
Probably
But if I get,
dangerous.
pardon?
It's probably sort of dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you have to make sure they're not a cop. You have to make sure they're not a psychopath. Like, there's all these
Yeah.
different things you have to do, and I'm like, ah. So yeah, like there's a way to weave these things together. I'm still navigating that, but yeah, my point is, yes, to answer your question, I have experienced that. Even at exhibits, I had an exhibit a couple years ago. It was 2024. Yeah, I had an exhibit at Madame X, which, if you've ever been to Madame X, it's this bar. It's like a burlesque themed bar in New York
Okay.
City. It's pretty like famous, and so it attracts people that are kind of in that world as well. And so having an art exhibit there's obviously like a blurred line kind of
Yeah.
thing happening, right? So I met my closing exhibit. There was a film event going on that night too. So there were some people from the film world that were just at my event because they were there for something else. So I met a guy there, and he was just asking me, like, I'm like, oh, you make films, you make art, you understand this. So he was asking me like deep questions about my work and like talking and talking. We're going back and forth from piece to piece. And then I realized, then he's just like, oh, what are you doing after this? And I'm like, okay.
Oh no.
First of all, this person, that's when I was learning about how to deal with exhibits too. Exhibits, the purpose of an exhibit is to essentially sell your art. So I shouldn't be spending my exhibitions talking a lot to artists. I have to be mindful of my time and energy. If we got a 3-hour window, I can't spend 3 hours talking to another artist, because we can talk all day about the creative process and everything. But if I'm here to, connect with potential collectors and talk about the work, I have to be mindful of who I'm speaking to. So it was just like a learning curve thing on the way up, but yeah, to answer that question, yes, I've had that experience where it's like they're pretending they're interested in the art, but they're really just interested in me. And so it's like, I'm fine with you being interested in me if you also buy the art. I don't, if it's using the art to leverage to talk to me.
Be clear, like announce your intention clearly. Don't like, I know what you mean. It's gotta be a little frustrating. Yeah. People aren't that direct. I mean, people always talk about how direct they are and how they're like tough people, type A, but they're totally not. I mean, it's all a sham. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people are afraid of confrontation.
Yeah.
There's an assumption, there's a story that confrontation has to be combative. It has to be a fight. It has to be when the confrontation could if you just take it at face value, confront, like with front, like facing the front, like just
Yeah.
facing whatever the thing is. But if the thing is, if you face it in that way, they're fearing rejection.
Mm.
If they straight up tell me that, I might reject them. If
Yeah.
they drag it out, they might linger around long enough that I actually start to like them in the middle of them not telling me what their motive is. I think
Right,
that's the
right.
logic.
Yeah, it's the art world's very interesting like that. There's a lot of people with like hidden intentions. Even people that are like there to buy your stuff will totally kind of play with you. Um, do you think that when you were like the 16-year-old artist, do you think that any of this had crossed your mind at all, that you would be coming back to it one day, or was that just like totally done? You're done. You didn't even care anymore.
Not at all. Not at all. Like I saw this video on YouTube and on excuse me, on Twitter the other day. The guy, there was a guy, and they're like, "Oh, your younger self will come and spend time with you," and he's like, "Oh shoot, like damn, I didn't do the stuff I was supposed to do." And
Yeah.
then his younger self, he films this whole thing. His younger self, which is himself dressed up as a kid or whatever, shows up. And then he's just like, wow, like you have your own apartment, you have this, you have that. And he's so impressed by the things he has done. And
Yeah.
he was there beating himself up, thinking my younger self would be disappointed that I didn't do this and I didn't do that. But like, look at what you did do. So
Yeah.
I'm saying that to say, she definitely would be proud of me and surprised that I went back down this path, because I grew up in a very rigid environment. So when I thought, oh, this is done, it's like, this is done forever.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like finality to it. How was your
Yeah.
environment rigid growing up? I'm just curious, because I hear like there's a lot of people that I know that are from different backgrounds, different environments, and it always fascinates me, their upbringing and like how different it is from mine. Mine was very strict at the beginning, and then like very loose as a teenager. It's like my parents shifted from being hard on me to being like friends in a way. So like that was a very kind of it was good. It was
What did they
confusing.
become, hippies or something, like randomly?
Well, like I mean, they started sharing like their hippie lifestyle with me, I guess is how I would put it.
Oh,
Like
right.
let me in, start telling me stuff. Like I started like smoking in the house and like all this stuff, and everything was like
Wow.
allowed all of a sudden. I think they were afraid of me going out and like,
Doing it out there.
yeah, exactly, getting in trouble. So like it was like, all right, you and your friends just party here
Just do it
now.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like super crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I grew up in Brooklyn to Jamaican parents.
Okay.
So I'm my mother's second child, and my father's first child, but my mother's second child. And my mom had my sister at 19.
Okay.
She had me at 36. My sister and I have a 17-year age gap.
Wow.
So my sister coming up, when she came up, it was just a different experience for her altogether. And my mom was straight up figuring it out.
Yeah, your mom was like still growing up too.
Literally that part. So
Okay.
my sister was just like kind of running the neighborhood. Like she was actually a bully.
Oh,
But
wow.
she's friends with everyone she bullied. So obviously she was like a nice bully.
Change of heart.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm saying that to say, you know that no two children have the same experience,
Right.
They don't. So, and I have a different father, right? So by the time I came around, my parents were trying to just like really make the perfect person. So they put me through Catholic school.
Okay.
And it wasn't so much for religion. It was more about the
Discipline.
structure
Yeah.
and just the belief in the story that like I'm going to turn out a certain way. So getting straight A's, just like there was a heavy weight of perfectionism expected of me that was like a silent thing, but it was there, right? Because they are also extremely judgmental. So I'm listening to them judge everybody all the time. So there wasn't space for me to be human. That's how I saw things. And I carried that story throughout the course of my life, this idea that other people can be human, just not me.
Yeah.
And it is one of the most stifling, debilitating things to be walking around with, because it's hard to get anything done. If everything needs to be perfect, you almost you get stuck almost not completing things by default, because if it's just not good enough, you can't you can't feel comfortable executing because of the risk that something is off. So um, I see how that's like affected even my creative practice, and
Yeah.
I've been doing a new thing of allowing myself to make ugly art. Like let the line sit there, like whatever,
I had
just
to do
leave it.
that too. I had to. I think I was having the same struggle. That's why it's really interesting you say that. Like you have all these half finished pieces around because you don't want to like mess it up because it's starting to look really good or something. Is that what you're talking about?
No, not so much half finished. Like I'll finish it. It's been me not allowing people to buy anything.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like I have I've actively obstructed myself from being a full-time artist
Right.
because it's the putting yourself out there fully and marketing yourself and telling your full story, and what if it's not perfect, what if it's, and so there's just, and it's subconscious, I'm not walking around with it fully, but every time it would be time to, okay, someone wants to buy something from you, like my whole body is just
Yeah.
like there's like a panic going on, and it just probably is that inner child, that teenager going, okay, wait, no, they're gonna what, see you?
Yeah.
No, people can't see you, but it's like people see you. It's funny because there's a video clip. I tell this story all the time. There's a video clip from kindergarten. I don't think we have it anymore. And before I had locks, I had big curly wavy hair. It was like a lot of hair, and we had a kindergarten graduation, and we were performing a song for some reason. All of us were on this little stage thing, and I
Mm.
remember having this huge hair and squeezing myself to hide behind this shrimpy kid that is just like, he's like this, and like you can see me, my presence behind him, and I'm convincing myself like nobody will see me if I stand here. So I'm just like standing and hiding, and it's like I'm not supposed to be hiding.
Yeah.
And I've spent my life trying to do this thing that I'm not supposed to be doing. And I'm not doing this thing well,
Right.
but I'm still trying to do this thing that I'm not supposed to be doing, all because I don't fully believe that I can do the other thing well, which is just to fully put myself out there. That's been the story that's been looping, that I'm transcending
Yeah.
in this timeline.
The irony is that like even if we fear how people are going to judge us and all that stuff, even if we put ourselves out there in the best light, they're going to see what they always see in people because it's just a reflection of themselves. So it's like
Yeah.
they're going to see you how they're going to see you, regardless of if you're at your best or your worst. It's like people kind of have a lens in which they view things through. So, um, yeah, and it took a long time to realize that. I think as professionals, it's one thing. As artists, it's one thing. As like in relationships, it's one thing with your parents. It's always this different like way of wanting to be or present ourselves so that we don't get taken the wrong way, at least
Mm-hmm.
from my point of view. So,
Well, and also being able to let go of that,
yeah,
because the whole taken the wrong way and all of that, as you just mentioned, we're being experienced by others through their own filter.
yeah,
So you never will have control over your own like perception of you. You don't
yeah,
actually have control over that. So it's this thing that we're fighting ourselves about that we just never were able to do in the first place, and it's getting to the point where you can just relinquish that altogether.
yeah,
That's the kind of cusp I'm at now, because it's important if you're going to be an artist. In order for you to create and fully put yourself out there and fully tap into your highest potential, you have to be completely okay with whatever the stories are, allowing yourself to be that villain in someone's story if that's what it takes to get you to focus on something else.
yeah. That kind of like self-judgment. I mean, as long if you're able to use self-judgment as a focal point for your art, that's one thing, but it doesn't actually make you a better artist. I had like a question on that. I totally spaced
Mm-hmm.
out. I'm gonna be real about
Oh.
it. Just say I spaced out. I forgot it was a good one. I was gonna say like everybody is we're like mirrors for like whoever we're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just gonna see in you what they see in themselves, but it's like a subconscious thing. Um, so if they're weak, they're gonna see weakness. If they're strong, they're gonna see strength. It's like everything's like a projection. I have a friend and it's an old saying in like meditation or whatever. It's like you're the director, the projector, the screen, and the script, like all in one piece.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's super crazy. Do you think that you're like you mentioned doing therapy and stuff? Do you think that that helped you tap into yourself as an artist?
Yeah, therapy. I like to say that therapy is is the start of the thread that like unraveling, but it's just the start.
Yeah.
All of the rest of it, the work with yourself, that's the real therapy. Like the therapist, they kind of they'll give you some assistance here and there, but there's no therapy like my own sitting with myself and introspection. And having started that therapy back in 2020 really led to just a snowball effect of unraveling from myself, and then really judging myself in the midst of that, because it's like, oh, again, the perfectionism thing would just keep coming up. So it's like, oh, I worked through this thing, then another version, another experience will come up that mimics what I learned, but it's presented in a slightly different way, and I had the same experience of like freezing up and not knowing what to do. And I remember speaking with someone, this woman that I had hired, and she was just like, when you start therapy or you start like facing yourself, it's the start. And so you have an awareness of these things that are going on, but they're not like gone now because you have that awareness. So she's like, imagine like the person or the thing is in the house. You now see it, you know where it is, you know how you've dealt with it in the past, you know what to expect to an extent, but you're always going to be navigating things. It's not like you're not failing because another thing popped up.
Yeah.
Things are going to continue to pop up. The point is, how do you handle them? How do you process it? How do you connect with yourself through those moments? How do you respond to it? Do you respond versus reacting? That's what it's about. It's not, oh, I started therapy, I'm never going to have a problem again for the rest of my life. And the perfectionist thing, as I mentioned, is what would kick in. And I'm like, oh my God, like I must be doing no work if I'm having this experience. It's like, it's not black and white. It's not,
Mm.
we are in the gray area always,
Yeah.
right? It's never all the way here and all the way there. We're somewhere in the middle navigating. And, that does absolutely informs my practice, because everything I make is a display of me navigating. It's I've been doing a lot more figurative style abstract work since I've been working on the iPad,
Mhm.
especially. And yeah, it's I'm just always deconstructing myself. That's pretty much the entire premise of my practice is deconstruction,
Yeah.
encouraging others to deconstruct, because that's all I'm doing. My work is purely about the self. That's the focus.
Yeah, that's interesting. Do you think that like working in mediums like marker and the iPad like help you dive into that more because it's kind of like more direct. Like if I'm working with other mediums, it's like if I have to get paint on my brush and then reapproach the canvas, or I have to like if you're sewing, like you have to like cut a piece here, move it there. Like there's a lot of these processes that you're doing.
Hmm.
Do you think that since like marker especially, it's coming like just directly from the marker, like from you to that, do you think it makes it easier to express yourself?
For me, I mean, because I don't sketch, I don't work with pencil
I
at
don't
all.
either.
Yeah, I go straight to it. That's it. Like, right.
Yeah.
So it takes a very special level of trust in myself that, I like to say that we have all the information. It's just disordered, right? Like
Yeah.
we're doing the thing in one area and we're mastering it, and we don't realize that the area where we can't seem to figure out, we just have to apply that same concept over here, over there.
Yeah.
And the way that I believe in myself in with the marker, with the medium and creating itself is just, I just have to reapply that for me to run the business. That's really just the missing point there. But
Yeah.
um it takes an immense amount of trust and just knowledge of self to know that whatever this marker puts down here, like what from here to the marker, um, it's just saying what it needs to say, and
Yeah.
I'll find my way from that point. And so I trust myself and the marker. And again, working with marker is different than the iPad, because in the iPad I can erase, I can
Yeah.
take off layers and all that stuff. I don't have that ability with the way that I create on paper. But I I allow myself to just trust the marker and trust what's coming down from me through the marker, that the piece will make itself from that.
Yeah.
And that's something that, again, I just need to apply in other areas.
Yeah. No, I understand. I totally feel the same way. Do you ever figure out a place where you go, all right, this isn't working, you just like throw something away? Or is it like everything is allowed?
I have several pieces that I turn the paper over and
Yeah.
just like started
Yeah, me too.
started again. Yeah, I have several pieces that I decided the other side of the paper was the better fit, and I just worked my way around the marker bleed.
Yeah.
So the marker that bled through the other side, I covered that up with marker on the other side.
I do
Um,
that too. I've got one
yeah,
like right here actually where I started that. This piece started like from like something bleeding through one side.
yeah,
Yeah, so it's
that was
like
nice.
I know what you're saying. Like there's like the little dots, and you're like, oh, that
Yeah,
kind of looks like a line, and you trace
yeah,
it, and all of a sudden you've got something going.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
no, all right. Well, we're just at about. I keep it at 30 minutes, like I mentioned. Is there anything that you're excited about that you're working on, or anything that you want to promote before we wrap it up?
Um, yeah, I haven't fully been in marketing mode for my NFT, some of my NFT projects, but I have a project on Transient Labs called On My Way, OMW, but it stands for On My Way. It's 17 pieces. The 17 represents the year gap between me and my sister.
Cool.
And each piece just it's a different story. I don't I wish I don't know how to, should I be showing it? I don't know what I should be doing here, but
We can try.
I'll,
I'm so bad at doing that. Like when I'm on something, I need to get to the point where I can like pull stuff up and put it on the screen.
yeah, yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. So, let me show you. So, I can at least show you one image or some version of it so you can kind of see it. So,
Oh,
in
cool.
each of the, yeah, so in each of the images, the eyes are empty.
Okay. No, I
They're,
like that.
they're always empty. And there we go. Here's another
Interesting.
one. So, and I it's
I
funny
love
because
that.
when I create things, I have to work backwards. So I'm just making stuff. Now,
Yeah.
what the hell I made, the story about it, now I got to sit with what I made and deconstruct the why did I do that, right?
Yeah, like
So,
that Jungian, like shadow work type of thing. Like what comes
yeah.
out and figure it out. Yeah, I do that too. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So like naming it, telling you the meaning and all of that, that all came after I made it. I believe the hollow eye story is the projection, the projector thing you were mentioning to an
Yeah.
extent, right? I'm experiencing the world as the world is experiencing me, and these things are like kind of having a dance with each other, that are being filtered through the ways in which I'm processing myself anyway. And so I think the empty eye story is I'm like looking out into all of my life experiences and recycling and calling it back and in to pick up what the lessons were. So each
Right.
piece is processing different lessons. You know, I have a piece called TLC that's just an ode to my memories of my childhood in the 90s, and it's
Yeah.
just they're just like little pockets of experiences that I never fully appreciated in the moment. You know, like I saw something online that was just like there was a day you went outside to play, and that was the last day you did that, right? There was the
Mm.
final day that you went outside to play with your friends with no cell phone, waiting for the street light or whatever. You know, that the whole way in which we grew up back then,
Hmm.
there was a time when that was the final time that that happened. And over the course of my life, what I've come to understand is no two moments repeat themselves, right? We're having this interaction, this exchange in this moment, but
Yeah.
the next time we interact, it won't be like this. You'll be
Yeah.
different. I'll be different. The environment will be different. And even if the environment is exactly the same, even if I wore the same outfit, you wore the same outfit, sat in the same position, our experience would be different.
Yeah.
And that's what I've come to understand as why presence is important. Presence is the key, because without being present, you lose the proprietary experience that every moment holds, right?
Mm.
This moment is special and it's independent of the next moment and the next moment. And this might be
Yeah.
the last moment. We have no idea, you know? And so
Yeah.
yeah, that's the project is me sorting through myself. They're all one of ones. And actually anybody that mints one of those pieces also gets a physical embellished print of this piece that didn't make it to the collection because I wanted
Oh,
it to be
cool.
17. Yeah,
Oh, that's
so it's a
amazing.
poster. It's a poster actually. So they're all hand embellished posters, and anybody that mints gets it. But I've barely promoted it. I have to do a better job. But
Well,
yeah,
just the way you just promoted it right there and told the story of it was perfect. I'll try to put this clip out to for the show because I think that if you're able to, like you said, no moment will be the exact same, but
yeah.
if you're allowed to sit in that place and deliver that same like essence for this collection that you just did there, you should have no problem promoting because I mean, it
It's just
interested me.
storytelling.
Yeah.
It's all storytelling. I've just been holding the stories in. It's me. It's not. This is why, like, it's funny that you bring this up. I don't. Do we have to end in 2 seconds? Or are we in a rush?
No,
Okay,
no, we're
okay.
good.
So I don't know if we can have this conversation for a second here about the art world or
Yeah.
the crypto Twitter art world, right?
It's
I
a weird
see.
space.
Yeah, it's a weird space. And the one of the things I notice is, I see artists really just complaining about no one supporting them and
I
no one
hate that.
buys anything from me. And it's such a it's such a story that's running that the starving artist story is actually largely being perpetuated by the artists themselves.
Oh, it
And they
is.
just don't know that.
It
They
is.
don't know that. But I'm saying that to say whether or not somebody, like, I don't think no one's not buying my project because I'm a woman, because I'm brown, because the space is like,
Yeah.
no, they're not buying it because I haven't told my story.
Yeah.
I'm the reason that they haven't bought it. I would not put that on the rest of y'all in any way because it is not true. The
Yeah.
truth of the matter is, I'm responsible to figure out who my target audience is. I'm responsible to learn how to communicate with them effectively and, have sales conversation. I got to run a business.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I actually have a business background, and back to my childhood for a second. So I went to Catholic school, as I mentioned, but I didn't grow up, where I grew up. It was a fairly quiet neighborhood, but the people around me were all in public school. We were having different experiences, right?
Mhm.
So I'm in Catholic school having this like structured experience, and then I'm going back to play with them on the street, like outside of our apartment building. And they would make fun of me for speaking well and things like that. So I learned to be ashamed of being smart,
Right.
trying, applying myself. I started to develop a shame and an embarrassment of that. And so I have been watering myself down for a long time, almost
Yeah.
like intentionally sabotaging things that I do have a knowledge in, right? I shouldn't be out here throwing gum at, being one of the artists that are just throwing gum at a wall and being mad that no one's liking my post.
Right.
I understand metrics. I understand, like, that's not how you do that. And there's actual studying that's involved, right? Like I went on TikTok and I've gone down such an educational TikTok rabbit hole for artists where I found this page that was breaking down the psyche of someone who's interested in abstract art and how their mind works.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yes. Like, and I'm reading through it. Like, this literally is me. And I'm like, wait a minute. No shit. You make this art. You're the damn target audience. Okay. Think about how you think. So what would they think? The highest version of you is who you're selling to. Actually, it's actually straightforward. Your target audience is sitting right with you all the time. And all you have to do is check in, figure out what that looks like, do a little digging, and apply yourself towards that. So I forgot why I even originally said that, but yeah,
I mean, I think it's just to the point of how a lot of artists on crypto Twitter and it's like they're not doing the things that it takes to sell, and they're complaining about not selling, and then they themselves probably wouldn't buy the work that they're putting out.
yeah.
And
Why
they
would
don't know they're
why would
talking
you
about their
care?
artists a lot of times
Yeah.
either, and forgetting the fact that like they want you to buy their thing, but they don't even care that you do a thing too. And it's like this whole like I find it to be like super selfish, actually.
No, well that's the thing that's what happens when it's because it's being run through victim consciousness
Yep.
essentially. victim consciousness ultimately comes with some negative connotations such as entitlement, right?
Yeah.
Like feeling like everybody owes you to buy. I don't want anybody to buy anything from me because they think they owe me. I don't want a
Same.
pity purchase. I want whoever connects with my work to buy it because they connect with my work.
Me too.
Period. That's
Me too.
not like, if you buy from me for any reason other than you like the thing, I don't want to know that my good art that I spent all my time and energy making is collecting dust somewhere in your house, all because you bought it because you were standing in front of me and thought you had to. You don't have to do
Yeah.
anything.
I hate that feeling. Like there was a gallery that I went to recently and I was going to submit there and I wanted to talk to them. And then I saw they had this door open and I look in the back and they had like all these pieces back there filed away. And I was like, what is that? And they're like, well, we have a lot of people that we allow in. So we're always rotating the work. And I asked like, like how long does it take? And they didn't really have an answer for that. But I realized that like my art would be out for a little bit and then sit in this dusty room and then maybe out again and then sit in the dusty room. And I didn't want it like locked away. It feels sad. Like you
Yeah,
feel sad for your art, like because it's a piece of who you are.
absolutely,
I
absolutely,
would rather have it up in my place than in their place sitting in the
absolutely,
back.
I agree with
You know?
that. I would rather be my someone posted this that was so funny. They're like, I am the official collector of my own work. I was like, me too.
No, I'm not like so there's two parts of it. So sometimes I walk around my apartment and I will get sad when I see all the stuff up because I'm like, oh, nobody wants it. And then I'll be happy because it's not in the wrong environment. Like
Yeah,
one of the biggest fears I have is like somebody buying something, they put it up and they go to move and they like throw it away because it doesn't match their new place or something.
yeah,
Think about that kind of stuff.
yeah. That's a thing. Well, what I was gonna close with from that previous conversation though was, this is not to judge artists or
Right.
make them feel bad or anything like that. Like I understand the complex, but the thing is, as you said, we're all mirrors.
Hmm.
Like last year, I had some weird experiences with art and putting my art somewhere, realizing that I don't connect with this person, that this is not aligned, blah blah
Hmm.
blah. But I'm like, you know what? In the experience that I had, they didn't value me because I haven't valued me.
Right.
So I have been putting out a bat signal for those who don't value me to come towards me because of how I was showing up.
Yeah.
And I can't blame them, right? Accountability is, why was I even over there? That's
Yeah.
the part. Those are choices I made that put me in a place where I had to learn that lesson, and that's fine. It's okay. I can be able to be accountable and also take my art back. It's just that simple,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah. No, I totally know. I've been there. I've put myself in a lot of situations where I realized later I was like either seeking attention or I had
mhm.
maybe a desire out of the situation or something that wasn't aligned with the person, the place, the thing, or even myself. So yeah, I know what you mean. I think that that's a really important part. I think a lot of artists are. It's like they're either in it to get famous, to make a lot of money all at once, to get attention, like something like that. And for me, it should be just about like, do you feel like you were born to be an artist? Do you feel like you need to express yourself? Then that's what you should do. Um, yeah, I think that the reasons are super limited. It should be purpose driven and aligned with like your life goals, I think. Um, so
Okay.
is there anything else that you need to I saw the thing pop up on the screen too.
Oh, is that coming to you also?
Yeah, I just saw that.
Okay.
All right, we'll
My
wrap it up.
iPad
I
is
don't
running
want it
out
to
of
mess up.
storage.
This has been
Okay.
good. So like we'll wrap it and see. Um,
Oh.
is there
We
is
can
there
do a
any
part two. We can do a part two if
yeah,
you'd
we'll
like
do
to.
part two for sure. is there any plugs, anything real quick before we go?
Yeah, the On My Way collection. I'm just waiting on this to pop up. The On My Way collection, and then I have a project called Channel Nostalgia that I created during Miami Art Week 2025, and that art is on exhibit at the Gates Hotel in Miami right now. But I'm
Nice.
shopping it around because I wanna be able to move it to different places
Nice.
um, down there that are just more aligned with visibility for the purposes of making sales. So,
Yeah.
but that's on transient as well. So you can mint it and get the physical. So that's like my phygital, what I
You're
consider a
digital.
phygital
I love that
project.
word.
Yeah. So it's 4 pieces that I literally made on the streets of Miami,
Those are
like
decent
over the
size
course of
too.
48
I
hours.
remember seeing those. Those are like pretty big, right?
Yeah, they're 36 by 48. So they're pretty
Nice.
big. Yeah. Those are my biggest pieces I've ever made. I actually don't usually work on canvases, so that was all new territory for me.
Yeah, Canvas does a weird thing with the markers sometimes that I don't like.
Yeah, what, the texture?
Yeah, it'll kind of like bleed a little bit, or it'll like leave this like weird like almost like a physical version of a pixel. Or
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah,
yeah,
I had to get very particular about the marker shopping. So it was like the industrial size Sharpie and
yeah.
some other thing. I don't know, but we figured it out. We made it work.
Well, I will here I'll end it properly. I was about to say I'll talk to you soon. That's not how you end a podcast.
No,
All
no.
right. Everybody, this has been Nathan's Art Show. We hope that you go and check out all the NFTs and all the fun stuff and give it a couple listens. That's how you say it.
Yeah.
'Cause I think this was a good conversation actually. I think it went kind of deeper and it was more than surface level talk. So actually I think this was like a really good show. And I'm excited to drop this. So all right, we're gonna end it now, people. I don't know what this is, but I'm doing it. I do this every time. All right, bye everybody.
All right.